Seems like we drink gin an awful lot around here.
Do we? Oh, that's right, because of that gin mistake from before. Fucking New Amsterdam gin. Oh, good times.
Well, we've got the good stuff now. The Bombay Sapphire.
Oh, yeah. Good friends in a bottle of pills back then.
So, I was gonna bring club soda or something and then
Shit, I have club soda at the house that nobody will drink.
mix it with this gin. We'll see how well this goes over because I've been sick as shit for a whole week.
Yeah, and I've been...
So, I'm gonna go easy on the gin, but I'm still gonna have some in my crystal Batman Forever glass.
Well, I rock my Hard Rock Cafe Chicago glass. Great Hard Rock.
All right.
Great look. Good drummer. Great look. Problems then.
I don't know. It's been a while since we've done this. I feel like I'm missing something.
I'm missing a buzz. Is what I'm missing. Just going this relatively clean for a change, so to speak.
I don't know. Let's give us some more input here.
Right.
Input volume. All right.
You a little bit better there.
Yeah.
All right, I think I'm good as well. I can hear you. I can hear me. So
I hear my mic rattling around. All right. So count us off.
Oh shit, that was our cold open?
Yeah.
Good God. All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's up, everyone? Chadwick Von Tippitt and Joshua Lee Johnson, the musical anthropologist.
There you have it. Happy New Year, everybody. 2021. And yeah, this boxing match isn't over yet. So we'll skip all that. Just Happy New Year. And Chadwick, what is our topic for this installment of One More Last Time?
We're talking about Pink Floyd, Animals.
The Animals album. You got to be crazy. You got to have a real need. So why don't you get us started into why we are doing Animals?
I don't know. Did I pick this or you?
I picked it.
Oh, well, because you picked it, I suppose.
Okay, so...
Well, you know, it's fitting. It's got an Orwellian theme to it.
Yes, sir.
Kind of mirrors and parallels our current existence, like, sort of.
In so many ways. And I think that's probably why I picked or suggested it anyway, is because, like you said, it's Orwellian. It's based loosely on the story Animal Farm.
Right, except for where it differs is it's critiquing capitalism instead of Stalinism.
Okay. What's the difference, I suppose, for our less politically inclined listeners? I don't know. So you're just shooting out terminology here.
I don't know.
No, you're very much right in that it is an indictment of capitalism, and that would have been...
I honestly don't think I read Animal Farm, or if I did, it was brief.
I'll be honest with you, I never read Animal Farm either, but have read 1984.
Well, that's different, because in Animal Farm, it's using animals as, like, your societal structure.
Right.
Specifically, the dogs are used as, like, the military force.
You thought of them military? I thought of them more as, like, business people, the stockbrokers.
In Animal Farm.
Okay, in Animal Farm, all right, I gotcha.
They're like a military force, and they kill off the weaker ones to keep the sheep in line.
Right, and the pigs in power.
Yeah, because pigs are smarter, are a smart animal.
Are they?
Yeah.
Huh. Guess I never thought an animal that root around in his own excrement was smart, but...
Yeah, well, pigs are a highly intelligent creature.
What?
And I eat them for breakfast, so fuck you, pigs.
They're fucking tasty, yes, absolutely. But, okay, but yeah, within the album Animals and where they're going with it, as you said, you're absolutely right. It's an indictment on capitalism. And that, what I gathered from it was the dogs, to me, were, well, the sociopaths, really. If you listen to the lyrics, gotta be crazy, sleep on your toes and all that shit. They're the ones that are out to take advantage. They're the ones that are going out and getting it. Whereas the pigs are the ones that are reaping the benefits of what the dogs get.
Yeah, they're like the corporate people.
Absolutely. And then the sheep are basically...
obviously, sheep follow.
The drones that we...
the regular, everyday people.
Yep, you go to work, you go home, as long as you're taken care of, you'll do whatever they want.
Yeah.
All right, so where would you say you fall into that?
where do I fall into that?
Yeah, because it's hard when there's only 3 groupings. If you have to like pick one that you would probably be classified as.
I'd be classified as a sheep, and not because I want to be, but because there's only 3 groupings, and I am not. Right. I am not a pig on top, and I'm definitely not what I referred to as the Gestapo or the enforcement or whatever.
Right.
That's not me. I have to go to work.
Unfortunately, I'd put myself
as much as I don't want to.
I think unfortunately I'd put myself in the same grouping a little more simply because I'm not a sociopath. A dog will step on your back, stab you in the back, fuck you over to get what they want, and those are the rich people. It's said that you almost have to be a sociopath to be a boss, really. You lose empathy. It's the bottom line, all about the numbers.
Yeah, so
did you take notes on this album?
A little bit.
Okay, I took figurative notes, but I didn't take actual notes.
Yeah,
so.
Basically, like the narrative of... So there's like, 5 songs?
Yes.
It's like 5 songs.
Right.
Even though it's like one big song. So the narrative is like... So this, it's like we were saying, it's like, it's almost like Animal Farm. It's like exactly like Animal Farm.
Right.
But it's bookended by...
Pigs on the Wing.
Yeah, so like the first part is like
it's a love song.
It is. It's to whoever fucking Roger Waters' wife or soon-to-be wife or...
God, was it soon or X? And I just read an article about this, and I don't even remember. But somebody connected with Roger Waters.
Yeah, but the overall theme of that is things are bad, but we're bad. It's bad, and we're in it together.
Yep.
Kind of a thing.
Very profound, but yeah, that's absolutely right, Chad.
Yeah.
You know,
and then
wondering which of the buggers to blame.
So then at the end of the album is part 2.
And it ends on a happy note.
And ends on a happy note. Maybe there is hope. Maybe we're not sheep. Maybe we can beat whatever, pigs and dogs.
I love how you interpreted that. That's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, it starts out with that acoustic bit, Pigs on the Wing, if you didn't care what happened to me and I didn't care for you. And then you go with that eerie keyboard noise, and it goes into Dogs, which starts out with, you got to be crazy, you got to have a real need.
Yeah.
And it gets darker.
Yeah,
fast.
It does. So I think I like the 3 middle songs the best. I didn't really care too much for the acoustic part.
No?
Not really. I mean, I get it. I get why it's there, but the core of the record's the middle.
And I think that's the brilliance of it, really, because it doesn't fit at all with the rest of it.
Well, it wasn't written at the same time.
Nope.
You know, so before we dive too deep into the music, here's some facts about the actual recording process.
What do you got?
Well, for one, it was their 10th studio album. This was right before The Wall.
Mm-hmm. And right after Wish You Were Here.
Right. Okay. So
if right after is a 2-year span, but yes.
Well, chronologically,
they were Pink Floyd. They could do whatever the hell they wanted. But you got to understand, 2 years in the 70s was like 10 years now. Elton John released four albums in 1974. 4.
All right. The album art was done by Hypnosis
with the G, Hypnosis.
Hypnosis, which I think is great because I have something to say about them.
Oh.
So it's that pig in between the smokestacks of the Battersea Power Station.
Yes, a flying pig. Get it? When pigs fly?
Yeah. So here's an interesting fact about that photo shoot.
I think I know where you're going, but
well, so they set this. They had that inflatable pig made, and they filled it up and they anchored it down and they did the photo shoot. Something went wrong,
and it got loose.
Something went wrong, and they didn't end up completing their photo shoot. So day 2, right? Well, so they hired a guy to shoot the balloon in case it got away.
Yes.
So day 1, something happened. They're like, "Oh, we'll just do this tomorrow," or whatever. Day 2. Well, they didn't hire the guy back to shoot the balloon, and it got loose.
Yeah.
and just. Can you imagine, like, just driving and there's this giant fucking pig, like, crashing into shit?
Well, it fucked with air traffic.
It fucked with air traffic, all sorts of stuff. And then it ended up in some farmer's field.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was so fucked up that they didn't use... They had superimposed that pig from previous photo shoot
onto the
record.
That's right. Yeah, the fucking flying pig.
Yeah,
Which they wound up using in concert after that.
Yeah. Well, I think it was different. I think they had a series of those made because they would blow it up at the end of the set.
That's right. It would fly behind the stage and they'd blow it up.
Yeah.
So, anyway, back to what, Dogs?
Dogs.
Yeah. The overall thing I noticed about this album, the reason why I love it so much is because it's one of those albums that inserts itself into whatever situation you're in, and it will change the mood entirely. It could be the happiest damn day of your life. You could have just watched your firstborn get born, hop in the car to go to the store to get the cigars, and if Dogs comes on, it's not going to be like a joyous thing. You'll go from, oh my God, I'm a father, to, you got to be oh my God, I'm a father. The album itself would flip your mood worse than any drug ever could. It's not an easy listening album at all.
I think it is.
Easy to listen to?
I don't know. I think it is
listening?
Easy to listen to.
Well, no, it's easy to listen to, but it's not the album you put on like to celebrate a happy occasion.
Oh, definitely not.
And I guess that's how it's always been with me. What really got me into this album was I'd been aware of it, but going back to previous podcasts where I discussed working at the Hard Rock Cafe, my boss there, we'd naturally be talking music, and he was always on my ass that I got to listen to 2 different albums. One of them was Def Leppard, High and Dry, which, all right, yeah, good album. And then the other one, he was
wait, let me. I don't know why anyone ever wastes their time on anything but Wasted Years.
Really?
Yeah.
As in their first album?
On their first record, because that was probably their best.
I could see that. High and Dry, though, after Mark's recommendation that I listened to it, I say if you want a good hard rock record, yeah, it's good. It's good. I think it was probably the last album of theirs that really mattered, because after that it was Mutt's complete takeover, but different strokes. They're in the Rock Hall of Fame, and I'm not. Then again, so is Bon Jovi, and I'm not. But anyway, the other
that's an entirely different whole conversation we could have another day about the the Hall of Fame.
Oh, geez.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, we'd better stop right there. Take another hit of this Victory Gin here, and then go on. But delicious. Anyway, no, but he was also on me that I needed to listen to Animals. I had to listen to Animals. So one day, about a year later, vinyl shopping in Austin, Texas, I found like a mint condition copy of this for sale. Okay, fine, fuck it, I'll buy it. I think I got really hammered one night and played it and didn't listen to it again until a few years later, when at a particularly low point in my life, the downer music or whatever, so I started going through all this vinyl I hadn't really listened to ever, or very little, and I put on Animals, and Jesus Christ, did it just lend to that entirely. Just musically, the words really were insignificant, but musically, it was just such a great fucking horrible downer record. Not like a feel sorry for yourself record, but more of a
sense of impending doom,
acknowledgement of your situation. Yeah, basically, yeah, pretty much your impending doom. You can't do shit about it. You're not feeling sorry for yourself. You're not crying in your beer, but okay, it's bad, and this is just the way it is. And that, to me, is just the whole album. There's nothing there's no positive message in any of those 3 songs. You're fucked if you're a dog, a pig, or a sheep, and you're going to get fucked by the other 2 groups.
Pick out the easy meat.
Yeah. Sociopath, that's the whole thing. Dogs are sociopaths.
Yeah.
So do you have any more notes then at all?
Just some random musings.
Right,
so in that song, Dogs.
Right.
I don't know. So you chose to listen to it like on the turntable.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Vinyl.
I listened to it when I was walking to work and stuff.
Oh.
So like in my earbuds.
All right, I got it.
So I noticed the dogs barking are all synth. Like
are they?
Yeah, it's like all synth on the keyboards and stuff because they change pitch with the solo.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's you don't notice it unless you actually have, like,
Okay.
If you listen to it on headphones or something, you can hear that.
Well, I could probably catch it on vinyl, but the problem was, to be honest, Chad, I was under the wrong influence when I was listening to it. It wasn't I'm going to pick this apart after inhaling the riff tree buzz. So I probably did miss quite a bit of that.
Yeah. So, like, texturally, the music, it's really good. I just thought that was an interesting choice to have synth dog barking.
Guess I didn't realize it was synths.
And it, like, changed tone, changed pitch with the keyboard solo in that song.
Oh, I'm totally going back and checking
You
this
have
out.
to. You got to put, like, headphones on and listen real close.
Right. So what else did you have?
I mean, nothing much for dogs. I mean,
Okay. Now, dogs to me is, as we were talking about, just such a, I don't know how else to put it, a bummer to listen to. Because
such a bummer. That's why they have to open it with a love ballad because they kick you right in the nuts.
they do. That's the damn thing. It's just even like that opening Sith line, it just sounds not positive, but then it just gets worse. The dogs are crazy.
It sounds like horror movie music.
Yes! And this movie, this album really is kind of a horror movie or a psychological thriller. But
Right.
Yeah. I do love the very last part of that song, though. The last, I don't know, outro, I guess you'd call it, who was taught not to spit in the fan, that whole thing.
Yeah.
It really makes you almost feel sorry for the dog in question, because the whole thing is, you were taught this, but then it just progressively gets worse. Who was found dead on the phone, who was dragged down by the stone. I mean, Jesus Christ. And you almost feel bad for this character that has spent his whole life, his life's mission is to fuck people over, but then he dies alone. He has nothing.
Right. I don't think it's an individual more so as a group of individuals.
Well, a group, but you wind up, for my part, I guess, mentally, yes, it's an entire group, but I always just have to almost, I don't know why, but kind of feel empathy for, I individualize it. And I picture Biff Roman dead on the phone, I guess.
So obviously we were talking about the themes of this, and the dogs are more of like the military complex. But that's only from my perspective as an American.
Okay.
What do you think, like, the British...
What were the British after?
Like what?
Aristocrats. Royalty.
No, that's the pigs. Like the dogs.
You're right.
So from my perspective of our military complex,
sure,
that's what I'm painting my opinion of this music. I don't know how to look at it from a British perspective. It's like, is their military force or their oppressive force different?
I don't think it's military so much. I don't know what it would be in Britain, but I guess for my part, I didn't look at it as military ever when I was
some kind of cops or some kind of enforcement of something.
I could
law
see
or
I could
something.
see that, except the law enforcement in Britain really isn't that heavy-handed, because they don't even carry guns, or at least they didn't at the time.
Right.
Whereas Robert Plant, when he came over here the first time, his mind was fucking blown that a cop could have a gun. Mm-hmm. So I don't think they're
like I said, like, the way I view the music and lyrics, it could be very different than the way it was, and
sure,
the intention was written.
Well, and that's the beauty of it. And that's the beauty of any good album, is that you could take your own interpretation of it. And that's what I found myself doing with this, quite automatically, to where it's like, okay, here's a set idea, a set theme, but what are you going to do with it? And to me, the dogs were, for lack of a better way to put it, the bosses. The dogs were the foremen for the factories. The dogs were the CEOs for the businesses. That's how I always have and always will think of dogs.
Right.
The people that... Yeah, there's the government officials and...
The bosses, the CEOs, the cops, anybody, the
police chiefs, really.
The fucking bank teller, because apparently they have more...
But yeah, I always thought of it as like the presidents of the company, the CEOs, the for lack of a better way to put it, the big bosses, like where I work, I have a lead man, I have a foreman, and the foreman's in charge of the whole thing. He's the dog. Not that my foreman is. But... that's what I thought of when I thought of dogs. The people that almost have to have a sociopathic tendency to them, a lack of empathy, towards somebody that could look at me and say, you're fired because you broke this rule, or you're fired because you missed this many days, has to shut off their empathy for, holy shit, how am I going to feed my family? Oh my God, how am I going to pay the rent? They have to shut that off. They cannot have that part in their programming. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to do their job. And they won't be able to get their extra pay. They're dogs. They feed off the easy meat, which is basically what any factory worker or any cop for that matter. Because if you think about it, the cops answer to a police chief. The police chief has to be able to tell them shoot to kill if that's the case, Whereas the cop will do it because they're the sheep. That's their job. That's how I look at it. So to me, that's how I've always looked at dogs. They're the bosses. They don't make the laws, but they are the first primary enforcers of them.
Yes, exactly. That's a good explanation. You think you nailed it on that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Every now and then, those notes come in handy. All right.
So what's the next song? Pigs?
No, it's Pigs. You're right. Pigs, 3 different ones.
3 different ones. Yeah. So, like, I've heard a couple different versions of the theme of this, sort of the lyrics of this song.
Okay.
I've heard that, so it's in reference to 3 individuals, right? 3 pigs.
Yeah.
So I've heard the first one
White House was.
Well, I've heard the first. I don't know the order they are in the song. Right. I heard the first one was just purely fictional.
Okay.
Then the second one, the White House, like you're talking about, is Mary Whitehouse.
That's right.
Who was like anti-liberal.
Yeah.
British liberal stuff.
Yep.
You know, I'm not real familiar with 70s politics in Britain.
Nor am I any more than the Sex Pistols may have taught me. But, all right, so then the third one?
I think is Margaret Thatcher.
The sheep?
No, the third pig.
Oh, okay, we're talking just the pigs. Fictional.
Yeah.
Thatcher probably.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then I've heard that. I've also heard that, yes, there were 3 people they're talking about, and the only one that they've actually confirmed was that Mary Whitehouse.
Yep.
So I don't really know.
Yeah, it gets very convoluted. If you want to, once again, the beauty of the album is being able to take it however you want it. Yeah, it's going to get real convoluted to a point that I hate to say it. I may be a musical anthropologist, but I fail miserably in every other regard, to where I know people that will listen to historical podcasts for fun, and they could tell me all of this shit, and it's all valid. I guess I'm just not that interested in even what Roger Waters was talking about. Just because Roger Waters, to me, having read that article, he was conflicted about being wealthy, because he always saw that as a bad thing, but then he became fabulously wealthy in Pink Floyd. And to someone like me, I mean, I'm not going to discount the guy's feelings or his anger, but I almost think it's a little petulant and kind of unnecessary, to where, how do you bitch about having money?
Well, the tour of this album is what brought on the writing of The Wall.
That's right, because he spit on a fan at one point.
Like he had this disdain for fans or something.
Yep, because they weren't there for the art, they were there to hear money or whatever the hell, and he got pissed.
Well, how can you be pissed off about that?
I don't know.
That's a pretty good song.
Ask any pompous artist, and I mean, like, Chrissie Hynde hates playing Brass in Pocket. Okay, that's 3 minutes of your life that you could dedicate to something that is paying your bills. I don't want to play it. Oh, come on!
Well,
really?
Think about Metallica.
Oh, Jesus God.
They play Enter Sandman every night.
But do they bitch about it?
No.
Exactly. That's the difference. They don't complain. Say what you will about Metallica.
Like, I don't think I've ever seen a live set list that didn't have Enter Sandman on it.
Because guess what?
Since the 90s.
Guess what? They know they have to do that. I mean, even if you want to go down to bands that aren't near as big, a band like Sleep, for instance.
Yeah.
When they did that Third Man Records live set, they played whatever the fuck they wanted because it's Sleep. Who are you going to piss off? But they still played fucking Dragonaut at the end. Because they know damn well there's got to be 2 or 3 casual fans there. Oh, Sleep, the Dragonaut band. They know they've got to play it.
Well, that's kind of like when I went to go see ZZ Top. Well, it was awesome because it's ZZ Top.
Well, yeah.
But I was pretty let down that it was nothing but hits.
Right, and I could see where you're at, because I mean, for my part, I would have loved to have heard
Brown Sugar,
Pan Am Highway Blues, Brown Sugar, something else but Shaking My Tree. I, a fan who digs deeper, would have loved to have heard that.
Yeah.
But I felt pretty lucky that, you know what, I didn't have to be disappointed that I didn't get to hear LaGrange. And they weren't going to pull a Tool and not play Legs or whatever the fuck, you know? Whereas Tool, they'll be pompous jag-offs about it. Yeah, I said it, not apologizing, that, well, you know, okay, fine, we'll play sober because we have to, but Maynard's going to stand way in the back where no one can see him, and we're going to put the bass player up front because we're artists. You know what? Go fuck yourself. If you can convince people to pay $300 a ticket to watch that, you're a genius. But you're still a pompous asshole.
Yeah. Remember when they had vultures on stage? ZZ Top?
Yes, the worldwide Texas tour. God damn, why is there no more footage of that? They're sitting on footage and I want to see it.
I think I just watched some ZZ Top documentary recently.
Was it the little old band from Texas?
I can't remember what it was called.
Great documentary because they finally came out and let us know that
Frank Beard had a heroin. Yeah, okay, that was the one.
That's how good that band is because
how did you?
Nobody knew that.
Nobody knew he was fucking.
No one had a clue.
No clue.
Yeah, no, he you know, I know why? Because he did his job. He didn't fall apart. But then when they took like a 3-year break, that should have been a clue. But yeah, he said, fuck it, went to rehab, came back. There wasn't a big, no offense to Nikki Sixx or the like, but there was no big, I'd had enough. I had to go in, and that's why I was gone. And, rehab was hell, but I'm back, and I'm clean. You know, there was none of that. Nobody had a clue, because it was nobody's business.
I still think that break, is that when Dusty Hill went to be an air traffic controller?
At the airport. Had a shirt that said Joe, and he'd go to the bar every night. Okay, but here's the fucked up thing. As much as we laugh at that, we think, God, that's amazing they do that. I gotta tell you, Chad, if it came to somehow hell froze over and our band got signed and they threw us on tour, we became massive or whatever the fuck, and then they brought us back home and said, okay, you know what? This guy's got some shit to take care of. And it was me sitting on my ass. I'd probably go back to IMT and say, guys, I got a good year. Do you want me to do some welding for you? And just not tell anybody I'd been on the road. Just like, what have you been up to? Well, you know, I had some things to take care of at home, but, you know, hey, I'm back. I'm ready to work. All right, Saturday overtime, you got it. I would probably do that just because it would be a grounding. It would ground you into, because I tell you what, Chad, I've had extended time off in the past. Yeah, can you about guess what I was doing with my time?
Up to no good, probably.
Up to no good, up the nose, everything, whatever you want. But yeah, downtime, I had nothing to ground me. I didn't have to be at work. I didn't have kids. There's no reason to wake up. Fuck it. I'll sleep till goddamn 6 p.m. and wake up and party with everybody. And then when they go to work, I'm going to sleep. I had nothing to ground me.
I keep saying to Crystal that I'm going to just be a stay-at-home dad from here on out.
See, you could, because you are grounded enough that you'll set tasks and you'll do them. You're the type of guy that would wake up and build a birdhouse just for something to do.
Did you see? I love that.
Seriously, that's a Pepper Keenan thing. But
right,
yes.
But hey, did you see that pedal board I built?
Yes, because that's what you do with your time. And that's awesome.
It was like, hey, I have some free time. Let me see if I could just build this pedal board out of scrap oak I have in my garage.
Well, and then what do I do with my free time? If I have it, which is not much, but maybe the occasional hour or something like that.
That's literally what I did.
I know, and it's amazing. But no, what do I do if I have any kind of time to myself to not be obligated to worry about anybody? Take notes and go on YouTube and watch Bill Maher. Or watch Seth Meyers and laugh and bemoan the political state. That's what I do with my free time. I don't even have a notebook. I'm not even writing anything down. I'm not creating. That's why I love my job. It fucking gives me something to do. Seriously, I can see why Dusty Hill did that. It's like, well, I don't have a drug problem. I'm not on tour.
I have money. What should I do? Get back to my community, I guess.
I'll go to the airports where I can be mad at my boss or something.
So that's so strange to me because when you watch that documentary,
right,
there's no indication that he had ever worked at an airport ever. It was pretty much like, I fell into music and that was it.
Actually, I don't know. They had one picture of him in his airport uniform. He's wearing a baseball cap.
Right.
Walking. It's like, yeah. Who's this guy? I don't know.
That's Joe.
That's Joe. Oh, you know Joe. He likes the beer, you know, and everything else.
Yeah.
Fuck. Genius, though. But that was before they grew the long-ass beards, and now there's no incognito.
Right. That's for sure.
As you stroke your beard. You're a real subtle chat. Oh, we have to do video of this at some point, because it's got to be fascinating. So were we talking about Pink Floyd? I
think we were.
All right, we were on to, we'd gone past dogs, now we were discussing pigs.
Oh, yeah, so doesn't that kind of sound like Have a Cigar? It has kind of that swagger to it.
Yep. Well, you got to imagine that band had been recording for how long at that point? They're going to start.
Well, actually, I think two of these songs were actually already recorded.
They were, if not recorded, they were jammed.
They were
live.
they were like a roughed out version of.
Because Dogs was You've Got to Be Crazy.
Right, and then God, I don't know if it was sheep or if it was actually the pigs that was.
I think it may have been Pigs on the Wing, actually, that was fucked around with.
I'm not sure.
Head your notes and figure it out. But
Yeah, well, I didn't take notes on that. Sometimes I think I can remember things and then I don't.
Remember, we're old, man. We don't remember anything. How many times did I repeat stories last year on these things? It's ridiculous. But then again, all right, so back to Pigs. Yeah, that is just a mean song from the get-go.
Oh, I think it's great.
Which is great.
And you know what? So I heard it. I saw a live version of it
recently.
in 2019.
Oh, yeah, I know where you're going. Please go.
Right, and they were showing like the pictures on the big screen, and it fits just right now, modern times, modern American politics.
Well, and that was the big thing with Waters when he went on tour. You know, when Roger Waters is going to go on tour, he's going to be pissed about something. I mean, just even the guys, he has resting pissed face. If there's a resting bitch face, he's got resting pissed face. He just always looks mad or annoyed or something. But yeah, when he would play Pigs, you can guess whose picture was flashed.
Yeah,
I'll say it. Captain Fuckwit himself, Donald Trump. Fuck, and it fit perfectly in a lot of ways in that. Well, I mean, just fucking insert an insult. I mean, there it is. But it was almost too predictable when he started doing that.
Oh, but it was great.
It was great.
Because the lyric, pig man. Pig.
Sherrod, you are. Woo.
It's like, yep, hey. That definitely fits. So, well, that also speaks about... so that was written in, 77?
It was released in 77.
So somewhere in between 76 and 77, the lyrics were written.
Yep.
Nothing has changed for 40 fucking years.
I wouldn't say nothing has changed. I'd say it's yes and no. I mean, the problems are still here. You're right in that regard. But what I find funny to me is and I can't believe either fucking Roger Waters or Pete Townsend hasn't written an album about the polarity that we have now. How polarized we are. And how it's because of the internet. I mean, did you watch The Social Dilemma at all?
Okay, so yes, I did. I don't think I finished watching it. I think I fell asleep during it.
I was told by the kid that I'm bored, and I get it, so I didn't finish it either. But
I watched a good bulk of that documentary, and
it made me want to go take a shower and throw my phone away. I felt so ashamed.
I don't know. Yes and no, but like, you have to understand that the people that are writing these programs didn't know. You know, like, they didn't know what it would turn into.
Oh, no, they created Frankenstein's monster.
Right.
I mean,
and some of them have...
And that's why they're speaking out.
Yeah.
They're like, we wanted clicks. We wanted... And then all of a sudden you start using a word like manipulation. And they're like, oh my God, what have I done?
Yeah.
What have you done? You fucking caused an insurrection at the fucking White House is what you've done. Sorry, not sorry.
Right. Their AI did that because it was based on clicks. Didn't matter what it was saying, positive or negative.
It wanted clicks.
It wanted that attention.
Yeah, and why exactly? And I mean, 4 years later, it's like speaking about the world in terms of pre-Trump and post-Trump. I'll flat out fucking admit I got into politics because of him. He had this fucking way that you couldn't look away from the guy. He made me care about politics. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I am.
Oh, I hear you. I've learned more about the way our government works than I have ever cared to know wanted to know.
And that's the thing that upsets me.
Just to fact check some of these assholes saying shit.
Yeah, and that's the thing that not only upsets me, but it makes me feel ashamed, is I, a sheep, shouldn't have to care about what the fuck they're doing. I should just be able to trust that, you know what? This and that is happening, but it doesn't affect me.
Yeah, I hear you on that. I was like, when did I become the most adult in the room?
Yeah, why do I know what a Senate majority leader is? And why should I give a shit? Well, now I'm finding out. And the goddamn thing is, it's because that showbiz fucking overbronzed fucking pig made me care.
That's true, but he was not the source of the problem. The problem existed long before that. The problem
He
exists.
was the biggest symptom. There's no doubt.
Right.
And
I
you're
can't.
absolutely right.
Not putting all the blame on that ass clown, but
No, because that's what he wants.
but I didn't realize how fucked the system was.
Well,
Even though we've been listening to this kind of music our whole lives, that have been telling us how fucked the system is.
You want to know why? Because it was in an abstract sense, Chad. It's like, okay, we could listen to, if you want to go to the late 60s, the MC5 talking about overthrowing the government because they're corrupt and everything else. But we're going, yeah, there's some things that are wrong, but you know what? I'm still going to go to work and I'm still going to come home, you know, or just any bit of it. You know, the 80s, the punk rockers were the ones screaming about it. Reagan's a crook and on and on and on. It's like, yeah, you know, triple down economics is bad, but hey, you know what? I still got school lunch because I'm 5 years old. I don't care. Fucking, even the 90s, you know, Bill Clinton is lying because he got a blowjob. I'm, as a teenager, saying, so? Yeah, he lied. Okay, fine, impeach him for lying, but why is this a big deal? It wasn't until you started seeing it come a lot closer to home. It was like a little pestilence that was outside of everything. But more and more it started to trickle in. And when it started to trickle in, really was Trump. Because he magnified it. And he magnified it because you couldn't look away from the guy whether you loved him or hated him. You couldn't look away. And so all of a sudden you're starting to notice, yeah, speaking as a white person, yeah, you know, racial bias is real. This is real. You know, or sexism or anything like that. It's like, okay, we knew these things existed, but they didn't affect us personally. And I still had that argument from people going, well, I'm not voting this year. And I'm asking them, okay. And of course, since I'm following, I'm saying, how can you not? And they're like, Josh, I've got a job. I've got a house. Yeah, there are horrible things going on. I can't stop them. And I don't care because it doesn't affect me. Where it really fucking happened, though, the pandemic. And that's when I started asking, okay, do you have to wear a mask to go grocery shopping? Yeah. Do you like it? No. Then it affects you. Then you cannot say it doesn't affect you. And I'll say here and now, if Trump had handled the pandemic the way he should have, he'd have gotten reelected.
Probably.
He absolutely would have, because Biden didn't win. Trump lost. Nobody voted for Biden. They voted to get rid of Trump. And that includes me. Biden, do I like him? Yeah, he's got some good things about him. Does he have some bad things? Yeah, but he didn't. My soul wasn't on fire about Biden. It was, got to get rid of Trump.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I know damn well, considering how many people are still backing him, if he had handled that pandemic, he could have been the hero.
Well, of course.
And I'd have had to fucking eat it.
If he would have just worn his stupid fucking mask.
If he'd have kept the passengers on that fucking boat, if he'd have fucking monitored what was going on in China, he knew about it. Absolutely knew about it and said, well, I'm going to downplay because he had it in his head, it's going to disappear. And even if it doesn't, who gives a fuck? I'm covered by the best health care. This doesn't affect me. I'm always taken care of. The economy doesn't affect me. Yeah, that's where I think a lot of his voters actually did turn on him, because he created the image for so long that he was for them and did it brilliantly with nifty catchphrases and demonizing other groups. The people thought, yeah, he's for me. He's for me. Until this. Until people were out on their ass because they lost their job or lost their home. Before you had to wear a mask to fucking go to a drive-thru. Yeah, that was when it was like, well, no, he's not for me. And I want something different. If he'd have handled coronavirus, we'd be looking at a second term. There's no doubt.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that.
All right, so I tell you what, I gotta take a sabbatical if you want to. I don't know what the hell you have for your random news or whatever. Have at her.
Okay, so random news,
right,
since we were on that topic, and since not that this was a segue, but since we have mentioned hypnosis, so some of the current music news I stumbled across is, you know, that they're buying music portfolios.
Right, yeah.
Remember we discussed that, I don't remember which podcast, a couple episodes ago.
You have to refresh me on this one.
Well, I mentioned that Metallica invested in this company that was buying up music portfolios.
Jesus God. It
so
was a lot of years ago, but yes.
It turns out it's the hypnosis guy.
Huh?
Yeah, it's the guy that designed all these albums and shit. Like
Really?
he co-founded this company.
Okay.
So basically, this company is founded on the premise that hit songs are long-term predictable assets unaffected by economic cycles.
Well, that's a hell of a way to put it, but you fucking mad world-conquering genius, yes.
So, some of the news, the music news, Shakira sold 100% of her publishing rights to them. And so did Lindsey Buckingham.
I saw Lindsey Buckingham, I think Mick Fleetwood, Neil Young.
Yeah, so that includes, like, his whole catalog and the Fleetwood Mac songs, like his share. And it turns out Stevie Nicks did the same thing, but sold 80%.
So she kept a little bit, though.
Yeah. So, and fun fact, it's co-owned by Nile Rodgers.
Oh, okay. Well, all of that makes sense. I saw that story that you're talking about. And I guess, in all reality, considering the age of the Eagles did this as well, pretty sure. But considering the age of the people selling off these assets or whatever, they're probably getting a gigantic lump sum, and they're thinking, you know what? How many more years am I going to be around? Do I really need to make steady income off this?
Right.
Cut your losses.
So,
well, especially now with streaming and everything.
Right.
They aren't making the money.
No. You get fucked on that. If you don't own the rights to your songs, you get fucked.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how it works. I don't know how their payout works, but I do know that currently it's $1.69 per share for this company.
Really?
Yeah. So they have I don't know if they're on the New York Stock Exchange, but they're definitely in the British Stock Exchange, whatever that fucking thing is called.
Yes,
so
I know dick about it.
So I don't know if they're paying these people off with stock amounts or just a flat out stock options, man.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Are they being paid in stock option or just flat out, this is what you'll give, what we're going to give you for your catalog?
I'm willing to bet you could find this out.
Oh, I'm sure I could.
How much do you care to research it?
I really don't a whole lot,
Okay.
but it'd just be interesting to know.
Right.
That it's you can buy my entire catalog with stock options.
That's
because like I said, their business is recession proof.
Right.
Hit songs are recession proof, so
and that's not a joke either.
it isn't. So just imagine this company now owns the rights to just insert any fucking hit song you can think of, whether you like it or not.
Right.
They pretty much get to control its ebb and flow now.
Oh my god, so you could wind up seeing a Go Your Own Way song in a fucking Preparation H commercial or something like that.
Yeah, in the future,
Yes.
Yes.
Well, and that has happened to a few different artists. What the fuck was it? When Michael Jackson bought all the Beatles songs.
Yeah.
And then he used Revolution in a Nike commercial, and it pissed Paul McCartney off.
Right.
No, Revolution wasn't about to sell tennis shoes. Okay, yeah, fair enough. And you attach something like that. I could see that.
One of the biggest things that stand out in my mind is when Cadillac used rock and roll.
Yes. I mean, the Mazda using "You Really Got Me" didn't surprise me at all, because David Lee Roth is just, hey, yeah, damn it, Dave. I could see it. So you want to drive a Mazda tonight? All right, well, listen to this. I could see him doing that. But yeah, when you have Zeppelin, who were the absolute top echelon of integrity in the 70s.
Well, and they continue to be. That was very rare that they let somebody use their music like that.
What do you think the motivation for that was?
I don't know.
It's not as if
can't be money.
None of them need money.
Can't be money.
I don't know. I don't know.
Unless it was to buy their catalog. Kind of like what Metallica did. Metallica owns their own music now.
Oh, do they?
So they've been re-releasing stuff. Every time it's 30 year of this or 20 year of this.
I just assume every goddamn band does that now.
They do, but they've been re-released under Blackened Music instead of Elektra or whoever owned it at the time. So that's their own publication. That's why they own they're invested in this company. I
see. So sort of like Motley Records was, however long
Yeah,
ago.
because Motley Crue is one of the only other bands that own their own music.
They are, and the way Nikki Sixx did it, they'll never say legally they can't say how he did it, but basically from what he said, it's like Sylvia Rhone fell for it hook, line, and sinker. Just basically, the way I interpret that is, I'm going to act like a petulant fucking asshole until you just want me off your back because you don't think I'm worth anything now. And nobody did at the time. Whereas I tell you what, I think Nicky, Vinny, Mick, and Tommy could probably just retire off the back of "Kickstart My Heart." That song is everywhere. For Christ's sakes, did you watch Cobra Kai, the new?
I haven't. I saw the first season, but I haven't got around to the second and third one yet.
You haven't even gotten to the second one yet?
No, I'm behind.
No, I'm actually amazed just because of the way that show sucked me in. Yeah, shit, the fucking third season, binged it in a day.
Yeah.
And, of course, that song was in it at one point. I'm like, God, the song doesn't die. It doesn't. Anytime there's a fast car or something, you got to have that fucking song in there.
Yeah. It's like, it's the rules.
And I kind of feel bad for the legacy of Ronnie Montrose, just because Bad Motor Scooter.
Yeah.
He was the one that did that damn intro before Kickstart My Heart.
Right.
No, in fact, it was kind of funny, too, when we were watching that episode, obviously, wife and the kids, of course that song comes on, and my wife looks at me and goes, "Is this Motley Crue?" I just said, "No, it's Montrose." And she goes, "Huh, I thought this was a Motley Crue song." And then, "This is a Motley Crue song, isn't it? This isn't Montrose, is it?" I was like, "Did you think it was for like a split section?" She goes, "Well, yeah. That's why I feel bad for the legacy of Ronnie Montrose, because that should have been his."
Right.
Bad Motor Scooter, yes, Samuel say, well, he wrote it. Yes, he wrote it, blah, blah, blah. I'm pretty sure Ronnie played the slide, though, in that. Or maybe Sammy did, but in that case, if it was you, Sammy, fine, I owe this to you. But either way, that was released in 73.
Right.
But if you hear that exact same thing...
I think exactly, whenever I hear either song, it's like, this could go either way.
See, and I can tell by the tone of who it is right away.
Well, I think, Fuel, Metallica Fuel does the same thing.
Give me fuel, give me fire.
It does that.
What song do you think it could possibly be?
No, it does that. It does that slide rev thing in it.
Really?
Yeah.
It does. Okay, all right. Guess I didn't think about that. But yeah, in the lines of intros, yeah, there's those two songs. And yeah, that's why I feel so bad for Ronnie Montrose. It's like, you know what? This was his. He invented this, but anytime anybody hears it, they think Kickstart My Heart, which, okay, fine. But no, the only time I've ever wondered about an intro is Werewolves of London. And what Kid Rock did that.
Oh,
to
Christ.
the point where it became a meme. To where it's a picture of a guy sitting in a bar, music's playing. Okay, it's guys, this is gonna be Warren Zevon. It was 19. Motherfucker, it's Kid Rock! And I can't tell you how many times in the bar that did happen to me.
That's usually my reaction whenever Kid Rock comes out. Motherfucker, it's Kid Rock! God! Because he sucks.
And this is the worst thing about Kid Rock, is I won't say he sucks
No,
simply because...
dicks, big ones.
Well, actually, by his own admission, if you look for a Rolling Stone interview, he talks about right before he got big, how he made himself very well known on TRL and everything else, saying, we were sucking some pretty big cocks back then. That's the thing that I hate to like about Kid Rock, is just so much of what he stands for, I clearly don't. He's a fucking diehard Trump supporter. He's a gun nut who thought Obama was going to take his guns. He's like low-key racist, but has a black girl in his band, so he can't possibly be racist.
Well, everything about him is a lie.
And it's contrived, yes. This entire redneck thing. Dude, you are a rich kid from suburban Detroit. You grew up in a mansion. Your dad was a used car salesman. Why do you live in a trailer in Alabama? Why is your best friend Hank Williams Jr.? Seriously, what are you trying to convince? But you know what he's trying to convince? His most loyal and unapologetic fan base. And guess who's winning? Seriously, they don't care. Because I used to wonder for years, who actually buys a Kid Rock CD past 1998? I found that out when I went tubing in Eldora. You go float down the river in a tube under whatever inebriated state you're in, then you camp for the night. And the bonfires at night or whatever, you go to different campsites. And I keep hearing this music that sounds like really watered down Heartland rock. And I'm trying to figure out what Bob Seger song is.
Only God knows why is
No,
blaring.
not even that. We're talking shit like First Kiss or whatever. Like stuff from 5 years ago or less. I'm thinking, who buys this? And I found out who buys this. People that go tubing.
Drunk Iowans.
Or people I work with who just want to weld and listen to some music, Kid Rock, say what you will about the guy. I don't like him. I think he's fake. I think everything about him is contrived, but he figured out very, very effectively how to keep his base. And
sure. He's Nickelback.
Oh, yeah.
He's Nickelback.
He is, except I almost think he's worse.
Probably, but after that Google commercial.
Oh, fuck. Fucking Google commercial. Good God, Chadwick. I mean, good God, Chad Kroger. I hate the fact that he has your name because I always want to switch yours.
Yeah.
It's like an insult. Be like, Hitler was named Joshua Hitler. Don't fucking call me Joshua, please. Anyway. So yeah, Kid Rock. Why are we...
This was part of the news, and we got way off topic.
Yeah, we did.
So the next part of the news, the only other topic I found that was interesting to talk about is Iced Earth guitarist John Schaefer is wanted by the FBI.
I thought that was a fucking joke.
It is not a joke.
I thought it was a goddamn joke. I thought it was, Iced Earth, power metal. So their singer must be wanted by the FBI. I thought... Then I found, no, this is real. He was part of this.
It's fucking real. Flat Earth. Just call him Flat Earth.
Yeah.
Flat Earth from now on.
Yeah, it's become a meme because, of course, it has. But yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
No, I saw that story. I thought this is a joke or somebody's just taking the piss. But then...
See, I don't understand how you can write an entire record about Gettysburg, right? And then, yeah, Iced Earth had that fucking record about Gettysburg, and now you're fucking storming the Capitol.
Well, well, here's the whole thing, though. This is where we're talking about the polarization that even Pink Floyd didn't predict. He thinks he's a patriot. And he thinks he's a patriot because of 4 years, and then the last 2 months, especially, of constant lies. That's why he thinks he's a patriot. He's on a different news cycle than we are, Chad. He doesn't see that Trump...
He's on the real truth news cycle.
Yeah, and guess what? We believe we're on the real truth news cycle. This is the problem. There is no fair and balanced fucking source for anything anymore.
I don't know, man. I kind of believe 4 out of 5 dentists.
Well, and that's the whole thing is we are part of the thing that wants proof. But according to them, it's a deep state proof. I mean, they're being fed lies. They're being fed bullshit. That's why they could be so insanely, laughably out of their mind to write a whole album about Gettysburg, but go march on this. In their mind, they are the patriots. The election was stolen. All of it. They really believe this because they're being fed this. And they're being fed it most of all by the most powerful person with the loudest mic in the world.
Who's the sheep now, motherfucker? So, back to Pink Floyd. The next song is Sheep.
I should ride you out.
So,
oh no, that was Pigs.
Yeah, that was Pigs. The song Sheep, I think, sounds like a fucking Judas Priest song.
Dude. It does. It does,
awful.
But which one? Because I know what you're talking about.
I don't.
No.
It just sounds like Judas Priest wrote it. Is what I think.
It's funny you mentioned that because there was a song off their first album. God, was it Winter Retreat or something like that? Fuck. I know it was off Rock and Roll when they were still flirting around with progression and all this shit, or progressive rock. That there's parts of that do sound like Sheep.
Yeah.
Holy hell. Man, I never even clocked that.
That's like the first thing that comes to mind when I hear that song. It's like, man, this could be Judas Priest.
Yeah, if you took a high-pitched squeal and put that to the vocals instead.
If you dirty up the guitars a little more, not that they weren't dirty to begin with, but if you dirty up, mean up the guitars a little, right. Fatten them up.
You better watch out! There could be dogs about!
Exactly.
Oh my
fucking
God.
Judas Priest, man.
Fucking blew my mind. And I could totally see Tipton and Downing going into a big long guitar thing like at the end of the song. Jesus. God, I don't even know what else to think about that song beyond the Judas Priest thing he just blew my mind with.
I don't know. That's all I got, man.
That's all you got out of Sheep.
Musically, I'm like, this fucking Judas Priest. Lyrically, I mean...
Oh, God, even with some of the guitar flourishes in it. Da-da-da. Holy hell.
Yeah. Fun fact, while recording this record, they, I don't remember which track, but they accidentally deleted one of David Gilmour's guitar solos.
I think it was this one.
Was it this one?
I think so.
So then, like, what? The 8-track version of the thing had a different guy playing it. They had brought some other guy.
Yeah, the 8-track of Animals is a trivia wonderland in and of itself, really, if you research it.
Yeah,
and it was a lot of why you could only get like an extended version of. I think it may have been Sheep, but anyway, one of the songs was like an extended version to fill out the 8-track so it could click tracks more effectively.
Right.
So yeah, for these live in their grandmother's basement collectors of all things Pink Floyd. They've been on a fruitless search for the last 20 years to get an 8-track of Animals so that they have literally every single Pink Floyd recording in existence.
Yeah, so I guess also during the recording, like David Gilmour wasn't as present because he was like his personal life, like his kid was born and like was spending more time at home.
You sure that wasn't Rick Mason?
No,
Because I know Rick Mason was very isolated.
no, because yeah, probably that too. But
Rick Mason, what the fuck am I talking about?
I think that
Rick Mason's the drummer. What the fuck is the Richard Wright?
the keyboard player, yeah,
keyboard
because they fired him 2 years later.
That's right, Richard Wright. Oh,
But he only has one songwriting credit, and I think that's on Dogs.
Right, because that was the only one they split the lead vocals with.
Right, and he only had like one part.
Yep.
Another cool fact is they built their own recording studio.
Did they?
Well, I don't know if it was specifically for writing this, but prior to writing this, they had built their own recording studio.
Okay.
Like this 3-story building on a block somewhere in London. It also served as like a warehouse for all their shit.
Right on.
So it's always cool when a band builds their own recording studio.
That's just because you have wanted this since you were 5.
Yeah.
And where is it, by the way?
Well, okay, so it doesn't exist anymore.
Anymore? You mean you had a recording studio?
No, this recording studio that we're talking about.
Oh, okay. Well, I tried to sidetrack it.
It didn't work. So, fun fact about that.
All right.
So, it was called Britannia Row.
Britannia.
Yeah. Like
Not Britannia.
Britannia?
Britannia. I think Britannia.
Tomato sativa, whatever.
Well, it's not Great Britain.
Britain. It could be.
What the fuck are you coming up with? No. Terrana beef is a thing. Britain is not a thing.
Britannia.
It's Britannia, the Encyclopedia
Britannica. That's probably the ship was named after it. The Britannia.
Britannia, yes.
Yeah.
So that's how it's pronounced, Britannia.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to butcher the English language. I'm American.
I don't know that allowed so much as expected, but okay.
Yeah, I'm expected to be the D student here. Anyway. So, Nick Mason eventually assumed full ownership of it.
Oh, okay.
But then he sold it to the studio manager, who then operated it for the next 20 years.
Uh-huh.
And they went out of business or closed in 2015.
Huh.
So they operated from like 1977 until 2015. Whole bunch of artists recorded there.
I was going to say, I wonder what else that we would have known of was recorded there.
I looked earlier, but I didn't write any of it down. The only thing I can remember, I think, is The Clash and Kate Bush.
Okay, so in other words, names that we recognize because we're supposed to for some odd reason. I don't know why I need to know who the fuck Kate Bush is, but I recognize the name.
And then British artist.
And then The Clash. Can we just say that they were one of the top 10 most overrated
wait,
bands
you know
of
what?
all time?
I misspoke. I meant The Cult.
Okay, I like The Cult.
Yeah.
I like The Cult, but I don't worship at the foot of them.
Yeah. What else was I going to say about this studio? It moved locations. It was at that particular location when they recorded the album, and then they moved somewhere else.
So it kind of kept the name.
Yeah, it kept the name and probably the clientele list.
I got you.
Yeah.
Pardon me one moment.
So, the album was number 2 in the UK, number 3 in the US. Number 3 on the Billboard.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I guess they did pretty well commercially. This album was pretty well received for the most part. In the States, from then until now, it's been quadruple platinum.
I could believe that. I mean, it's strange even to me that I sound surprised that it hit number 3 in the U.S., whereas Pink Floyd in the 70s was so goddamn massive. Just off the back of that name, I could see that album taking off the way it would have initially. But,
yeah, there was somewhere, though, I read, like Austria, it only sold like 30,000 records, so that's like gold.
Okay.
So it only went gold in Austria, but the rest of the world was like platinum.
Well, aren't we like the only country that has like, well, and all the gold and platinum are different for every country anyway. Does Canada have a platinum?
I don't know.
I can't recall if they do or not, but I know it has. their sales charts or whatever. In fact, the only reason the Platinum Award was even invented anyway was because of Peter Frampton. Wait, no, it wasn't Frampton. It was because of the Eagles, I think. Because their Greatest Hits, which still holds the distinction as the best-selling album of all time, because it sold so many copies, they had to invent a new award.
The Eagles?
Yeah, the Eagles' Greatest Hits, their first one, is the greatest-selling album of all time. And think about why. Number one, it got a head start in 1975. Number two, it crosses how many different genres? You know, country people will listen to it. Classic rock people will. Rock and roll people, even some hard rock people will all listen to the Eagles. They have all those different genres that they're selling to.
So, you're right, because you're the music anthropologist. But also, they also hold number 3, the number 3 slot.
Okay, who's in front of it? Thriller?
Exactly.
Okay, because the Eagles didn't get the African American end of it.
So top 3 it goes Eagles, Hotel California, Thriller, and Eagles Greatest Hits. Top 3 of the greatest selling records of all time.
So how is the Eagles Greatest Hits number 4 and number 1?
No, it's number 1,
right.
And number 3 is
Hotel California.
Hotel California.
Yeah, because once again, cross the genres. Thriller was the only one. Thriller had the pop, well, and the Eagles also had the pop background, which Thriller fucking owned. And then you had the quote unquote urban, whatever the fuck distinction that is, which the Eagles wasn't going to get. But the Eagles had more of the hard rock bass than Thriller would have. Thriller would have gotten it because of Beat It and Eddie being on that solo. Whereas the Eagles, you had Life in the, or whatever the hell songs they had. But either way, it makes sense to me that the Eagles would be it. The one I always like looking up, though, is like debut albums by decade. What was the largest selling, or the largest selling album of the decade, or whatever. Debut albums in the 70s was Boston. Which is funny because reading in depth about that was nothing more than Tom Schultz's studio project. And that he had to put a band together when the demos got him signed. And then 80s was Appetite for Destruction. Which what's funny is each one of those debut albums in the 90s was Alanis Morissette. Each one of them came out in like the later part of the decade. Appetite and Alanis Morissette were 97 or 87 to 97. Boston was 76.
Was that Jagged Little Pill?
Yes. Think about it. How many times did you hear the song fucking Ironic or You Oughta Know? I mean, that goddamn album was everywhere.
I suppose, but I really didn't. I mean,
well, it's because you weren't a girl, though. Alanis Morissette had the female end of it like nobody was ever gonna. Guys really didn't listen to Alanis Morissette. Or if they did, they bought it because their girlfriend liked it or because they heard Ironic so many times. Oh, that song's catchy, I'll buy the CD. Back when you didn't just have to fucking download an MP3.
Yeah.
But
the good old days.
So do I. Mm-hmm. I'll be honest with you. It made me hungrier for music. It made me want it more. And that's why even when iPods were the thing, I refused to get one. I won't do it. I don't listen to music on my phone.
Oh, I do.
Primarily.
I have Amazon Music because you can play the whole record.
See,
so it's like,
and I won't do it.
It's like the same thing I do anyway. I from start to finish. I play a record start to finish.
Right. And
I don't have a collection of songs. I have a collection of albums.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. Is I miss just the physical end of it. Like, well, Christmas was a good one for me this year. I wound up with 2 vinyls that I wanted. Both of them Sleep, of course. Mm-hmm. The Science is on vinyl, and then Dope Smoker on vinyl.
So those are both on my list that I haven't got yet.
But you got the Leagues Beneath?
Yeah.
Single and all that? That's next on my list.
Well, so to make it worth it to me is I will seek out like the colored vinyl or something weird or rare about it.
Oh, you're gonna hate me when I tell you about the Dope Smoker one.
Oh. Did you get the green one or like the gold one?
No, the green one.
Yeah.
Got the one that was like 3,500 copies made or whatever. It came with the 2 posters. Like I don't know what you call the embossing on the jacket though, because it was
not like the hologram.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hologram thing. And even at my age, getting this vinyl, I was just like a literal kid at Christmas. Like, oh my god, look at this packaging! Holy shit, it's shiny! And oh my God, the albums are green, and hey, there's a poster of Matt Pike. Of course he's not wearing a shirt. This is fucking brilliant. I mean, I was just like a teenager again.
Yeah.
And that's why I won't dive into the digital thing, because that's the last bit of music enthusiasm I have left.
So I don't just dive into digital.
I know.
I do it for a convenience sake. Like,
No,
I
get it.
I'd still do collect physical records, and
I know. In fact, I think you got more than me.
I probably do.
Yes. But
Well, I don't know, man. You got quite a good collection.
I've got very eclectic collection, but
Yeah.
well, and because I had a head start in that, half of them were my father's. So I had that end of it that helped me out, but that's the whole damn thing is, yeah, I was like a kid at Christmas getting these fucking albums and looking through every bit of it. Have you seen the gatefold picture of the Sciences yet? What's in there?
No, I haven't.
Breakfast.
Cool.
Breakfast. Breakfast. I opened this up expecting to see Planet Ionia or something.
It's like fucking
Breakfast.
It's like fucking the Who sell out.
It's a fucking plate. It's a goddamn plate.
It's a bathtub of baked beans.
It's a goddamn plate of sunny side up eggs, some sausage links, this toast with a stick of Butler.
Butler butter.
Not butter. Butler.
Butler.
And of like a water pipe and a big bowl of leafy, greeny, I'm not assuming they're fucking asparagus. Yeah, breakfast.
Wow.
It was a picture of breakfast. And I was like almost pissed.
Well, I think that just solidifies my next vinyl purchase.
Oh, yeah, you'll look at this and go, breakfast. Mm-hmm. Yeah, nothing about space or anything like that. A picture of a fucking bong and a big fucking bowl of really tasty looking weed and breakfast. Breakfast. Why? I just couldn't fathom what the fuck. I tried to connect the dots. I still can't. Why breakfast? Is it because Atomic Rooster had an album called Nice and Greasy with eggs on the cover and you're harkening back to the 70s? Why? Help me out. Why?
Man, that's a good question that someone should ask.
Why? But no, the Dope Smoker one, on the other hand, that was everything that you figured that album would be.
Oh, yeah.
But I will say, and I know it sounds like the douchey hipster record store guy, but you've not heard Sleep till you've heard it on vinyl, Chad. I'm not kidding. It just is a whole other ballgame. Yeah, the riffs are there and everything else, and you can hear the bass if you listen to it on your phone or whatever, but you're not feeling the bass, and you're not really hearing the bass.
I know what you mean. I just got new speakers and a new, well, not new, but I got speakers and a receiver for my turntable. I haven't set it up yet.
Oh, dude, get on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the whole thing for me. I think, God, yesterday I must have listened to Dope Smoker like 3 times. Yeah, hour-long song, 3 out of 4 sides of a double vinyl fucking set. And yeah, I couldn't quit listening to it. So anyway, we were talking about Pink Floyd.
Sometimes.
All right. So Sheep, Judas Priest song.
That's all I got for you, man.
God, that was good. Let's see what else I got for that.
Judas Priest.
Nah, Sheep was great because, like,
I mean, it's a good song musically, obviously.
Yeah. Let's see my thoughts on.
Well, and then it's a good, and it's resolution to the story. The sheep there's an uprising, and they take out the dogs.
Do they?
I believe that's the premise of the song.
I almost want you to go find the lyrics because I didn't think the sheep did the uprising. The only thing I remember is you better watch out, there may be dogs about. I thought the kind of whole reconciliation was if the sheep want to stay alive, they better go home. That's what I gathered from it. And then I could be
through quiet dedication and I read that through my pop filter, so I got that wrong. Through quiet reflection and great dedication, master the art of karate. Lo, we rise up.
Huh?
That's the lyrics.
Fuck out of here.
No. Bleeding and babbling, we fell on his neck with a scream.
Fell on his neck with a scream. And now all I can hear now, you assholes. Now all I can hear is Rob Halford singing whatever.
And then
it is.
the last bit of lyrics. Have you heard the news? The dogs are dead.
Oh Christ! How did I forget that?
You better stay home and do as you're told. Get out of the road if you want to grow old.
Right. How did I never catch that?
I don't know. Like,
Because I remember the dogs are dead.
yeah.
And all I can hear is Rob Halford now. Have you heard the news? The dogs are dead! Oh, God. The gift that keeps on giving.
Well, you're welcome.
Fucking Rob Halford, God. And the worst part is I can't really tell that joke to anybody because nobody else I know is listening to Animals, and the people that may have accidentally heard Animals aren't real Judas Priest fans, so nobody's gonna get the two fucking things at all.
Well, that's what we do here at the One More Last Time podcast.
Right.
We definitely aim to enlighten.
Enlighten or confuse.
Whatever.
Potentially amuse.
We are not amused.
We're not.
Never mind.
Oh God. All right, so
And then it ends with Pigs on the Wing
Part
Part
2.
2, which
it's so happy.
yeah, because it gives you hope for the future that the dogs are dead and maybe things can change.
And we can grow old. Fucking no, but of course the one part of that damn song is of course Roger Waters can't resist something stupid, looking for somewhere safe to bury my bone. That just seemed like the most
You think
out of place part of.
you think that's an innuendo?
Yes, I do. I think he wants to fucking give her a bit of the bangers to go with her mash.
The bangers in the mash.
I think I just invented that too. I wonder if that's a British thing. If anybody's ever said that. How would you like a bit of bangers to go with the mash, love?
What's that fucking movie that
I don't know, sir.
oh man, the Fuzzy Wall movie.
Oh Christ! Yes, fucking get him to the Greek, Russell Brand.
Yeah.
Fucking
Didn't they have a bangers and mash song on that?
fucking probably. I don't remember that. I gotta watch again. But the one thing I love that you bring that up. Let's go down this rabbit hole. Was the part where they're in Vegas and yeah, the furry walls kept him comfortable or whatever the hell. But they were talking about the Jeffrey. You remember the Jeffrey?
Oh yeah.
The joint.
Yeah.
What's a Jeffrey? Yeah, well, weed mostly, but there's a bit of heroin, a little bit of cocaine, some methamphetamine, Subutex, and just some opium. And I stopped right there. You're gonna ask me why, and you're gonna think, still, why are you telling me this? But there was one ingredient he listed in the Jeffrey, Subutex. Okay, so you're loading a joint with heroin, opium, Dilaudid, all these opiates. And then you're going to load it with Subutex. Now, why would I think that's insane, you ask, Chad? It would be like your boss asking you to go start a fire in the ditch and then handing you a gallon of water. Subutex is an opiate blocker. That's something that is prescribed to fucking opiate addicts to get them off the drug or whatever, to where that even if you injected yourself with heroin, the Subutex would block it and you wouldn't get high. So why did Russell Brand, an admitted heroin addict, how did he not know that? That's what I want to know. If anybody can answer me that, please help me out at.
Well, maybe he did know that. Was that during the time where he was getting clean?
Yeah.
Maybe it was just an inside joke.
See, and that's what I wonder. I mean, if it was an inside joke, that is fucking brilliant. But yeah, that always bothered me. Heroin, Subutex. Wait, what? No. No, that's like saying somebody poured water on the fire in order to make it bigger. No, Subutex blocks heroin, blocks opiates. Never could reconcile that. I wanted to know if he just kind of.
Well, he also says like Clorox. Clorox bleach.
Right.
Like Clorox.
Well, then again, they make meth out of bleach, so I could see that. Even that I can kind of fucking let slip.
Man, that was funny.
What, get him to the Greek?
Yeah.
Nobody suspects the Jeffrey. I always love watching Russell Brand in interviews. He appears more fucked up now than when he was on dope. Because you see, when you're doing heroin, it seems like this beautiful thing because you feel beautiful. You could be in a burning house. And I tell you, I got addicted to pornography at one point. And it's just when it starts to affect everything else is when it becomes a problem. And then it's an addiction. I don't know why I just did that, but it felt right.
Yeah, felt right. Sounded right.
Did it?
Yeah, definitely sounded right.
Let's see. On the list of people to piss off in 2021, number one, Russell Brand.
I don't think it would piss off Russell Brand.
I don't
at
think
all.
he'd give a shit. No.
Somebody send this to Russell Brand.
Well, we're talking about him. He ain't talking about us. Could happen to you because it happened to me. J-Rock.
J-Rock.
Don't give a fuck. That'll never not be funny.
All right. So, did you listen to anything new or different?
New or different this week? Well, let me take some notes here and think about
Well,
that.
this week covers like 4 months because we took a coronavirus hiatus.
Because it's 2021 and 1 week equals 4 months.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
Yes, absolutely. Oh,
I've had, let's put this in perspective.
What do you got?
I've had 2 of the 4 weeks of this month off already.
due to...
Well, one was just because I needed a rest.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then this past week, I've been sick. Like, I had food poisoning.
You know, the worst part is the asterisk you have to put on, like, your messages or whatever when you said... Because you messaged me and said that you'd been sick. And before I could even reply, the next message was, not with COVID. It's like the ultimate disclaimer now. God, I don't feel so well. Don't have COVID. No COVID. No
Well,
COVID.
see, here's the thing. I got the COVID vaccine. And like 2 days later, I got food poisoning. So I'm like, oh, fuck, it's killing me.
Yeah, and that's what you're thinking. I mean, my God, I could wake up tired. It doesn't matter that I'm 41 and I've treated my body like a fucking science lab. I wake up tired now. It's, God, do I have COVID? Did I get COVID? I mean, this could be COVID. This is horrible.
Yeah, so, yeah, my disclaimer is definitely, I've been sick, but it's not contagious.
Taking notes. No, and that's good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't wish food poisoning on anybody because it's been fucking awful.
No, there's nothing fun about that.
No. Ooh. Threw up and it sounded like demons.
Well, it's like I told you. It said it's pretty metal, but, not cool.
No, not cool at all. Like,
cool.
My entire upper body hurt. I almost broke the blood vessels in my eyes.
Jesus, Biden, don't be doing that.
Just
Okay, so did I listen to anything new?
yeah.
What time period are we talking?
It doesn't.
about?
I don't know. Like I said, this encompasses like 4 months.
No, I've been listening to Sleep and a lot of it. Because God, does that band make much more sense now more than ever. Have I inadvertently heard anything new by way of my wife and my kid? No. Actually.
No.
No, we don't really... I don't know, what the hell? What was Annie listening to? I don't know. She'll dance to anything. She had the cha-cha slide playing the other day, that wedding standard. And you have to sit there and just take it. Isn't this funny, Dad? Yeah, it's a catchy song. That's great. Fighting them to scream, no, God, please, no, shut it off.
See what
no.
you should do.
What should I do?
In a parently manner, you should say, this is good and all, but here, why don't you learn how to do the time warp?
No.
You don't like the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
I'm not introducing her to the Rocky Horror Picture Show. The kid repeats everything. Last thing I need is going to school saying that she's a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania. No.
Oh. How old is she?
11.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. No, that doesn't work.
I built a man.
In just 7 days, I can make you a man. I wonder if the South Park guys weren't referencing that song when they sang.
Now you're a man.
Make some. Oh God, no! Stop. No. But
So obviously you didn't listen to anything new.
I never do. I've told you.
One day you're gonna surprise everyone and be like, yeah, I listened to this.
Hey, it's enough that I know what the fucking song Savage Love is. It's enough that I know how it goes, and it's enough that I have it going through my head at random moments.
I don't know what that is.
No, your kid hasn't discovered how to work the Roku yet. But when she does, you're going to hear, Savage Love, did somebody break your heart? And so on.
Okay. So for me, I've been listening to Killer Be Killed a lot. And that's like a super group. It has like the bass player from Mastodon. What's his name from Sepultura?
Okay,
Soulfly.
Yeah, I've seen
Max Cavalera. The singer from what's that? The Dillinger Escape Plan.
That's a singer as opposed to a screamer.
Well, they the Mastodon guy and the
I was going to say
Dillinger,
the Mastodon guy, I can believe.
they kind of rotate duties, and it's kind of like different types of vocals.
A
Yeah.
cacophony of sounds.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty good and interesting. Ben Kohler's playing drums, the guy from Converge. Mm-hmm. So it's a super group, and it's metal, and it's pretty cool.
Nice.
So I've been listening to that a lot. And then I watched Robert Fripp
Oh, Jesus Christ.
and his wife's nipples cover Enter the Sandman.
Oh, my God. No, it was funny you mentioned that because I got sent a video of those two. I think it was a week ago. I don't remember what it was exactly they were doing, but it just this weird random shit that his wife did this interpretive dance of. And I don't know. At the time, I replied back to the person who sent it. I said, I think this needs to be played every day for the rest of the year because it was so obscenely ridiculous, but you couldn't help but laugh.
It is. So, like, she's on an exercise bike in this.
Yes, I saw it. I watched it.
Like, Robert Fripp's sitting, they're like in their kitchen or something.
And is it just me, or did Robert Plant, don't you kind of just want to say, dude, nice pull? When you see his wife, I mean, it's like, good looking woman. Fucking right, Robert Fripp, guy who ever stood up when he played guitar. Hell yes.
Yeah, and she knows it.
Or maybe
for being an older woman, obviously there's some plastic surgery
because
they're standing at attention, and you can definitely tell.
Yes, I could.
Yeah, put an eye out with those mamma jammas.
Mamma jammers.
Mammer jammers.
Get the fuck out of here, mamma jammers.
Mamma jammers.
Fuck. All right. Yes. So Robert Fripp and his enhanced wife. Yep. I just thought, good pull, man. Nicely done. And then I thought, God, I would love to see those two play Easy Money and have to do that.
Yeah, it's just weird. This weird stuff that.
Are you familiar with the song Easy Money?
I think so.
Yeah, the King Crimson song.
Yeah.
It's just weird. There's no conceivable reason why these sounds should be happening at this time, but somehow it works. And all I could picture was her doing that weirdo gyrating to that weirdo song.
So aside from that, I watched the Alice in Chains at the Mopop Awards.
I have yet to see that.
Well, okay, so it's a bunch of different artists doing like a Alice in Chains song.
Is Phil Anselmo part of it?
No.
Damn it.
Not this time.
Whoa! Fucking right. Would never sounded better.
So for the most part, I think I liked every artist doing a tribute, except for Korn.
Korn.
They did Wood.
What? They did Wood?
But Metallica also did Wood.
Yes, Metallica, I could see it. I could even see Chad Kroeger singing it.
So Metallica have done it before.
Yes.
But anyway, like I said, Korn did it.
So Korn did this. Who did the other vocal then? Or did Jonathan Davis handle all of it?
I can't remember. I did not watch the whole thing. I put it on and went,
okay,
not
so
into it.
Let me guess how it sounded. Probably some whiny Jonathan Davis vocal intro, and then Monkey and Head, or Brian and James, fucking doing some weirdo noise approximation of the main musical part.
Well, it was actually, I'm not going to say it was close to the original, but it wasn't.
Really?
It wasn't so bizarre that you didn't recognize it. Kind of like when they did Another Brick in the Wall.
Okay. Oh, what about Fieldy's Clickety Clackety Bass?
I didn't really pay too much. I did not make it very far to critique it that hard.
If you couldn't have heard, if you didn't notice it, then it didn't happen. Maybe he's using a bass tone now.
I don't know.
Good for you, Fieldy.
I doubt that happened. But
I don't know.
Yeah, there's really good performances. It's definitely worth checking out.
Korn doing Wood.
Yeah, that was a little weird, but okay.
Anything else
that I listened to, or not really.
I'm trying to think, because once again you say, well, whatever time period, Jesus. God, was anything slipped in on me, or did I accidentally like something I didn't want to like I did this last summer, or... No, just... I've been... About the only thing I can say is been listening to the AC/DC Power Edge album over and over again this week.
Do you have any plans to listen to their newest one?
No. I heard Shot in the Dark, and it was such perfect AC/DC.
So, like, yeah, of course it is.
I walk in the party and got a shot in the dark.
Remember when Stiff Upper Lip came out?
I was born with this.
Everything is just stiff upper lip at this point.
I think it's been Ball Breaker at this point.
Yeah, whatever. It's like it's not even good anymore.
Well, it's not that it's not good. That's the damn thing. It's not that it's not good, because I listened to Shot in the Dark, and it was so perfectly AC/DC that you can't say it's not good, because at one time we sure liked it, didn't we? Yes. So you can't say it's not good. It's just... why? Why do I need Shot in the Dark when I can listen to Hard as a Rock? And why do I need Hard as a Rock when I can listen to Sink the Pink? And why do I need Sink the Pink when I could just go to Back in Black and just be done?
Yeah.
I mean, really. And keep in mind, I just listed songs I like.
There are a lot of bands like that. And
like who? I mean, who beyond AC/DC?
Motorhead.
Except they're done.
Slayer.
And they're done.
Well, I know, but they went for a long time.
You're absolutely right.
At what point is it like, okay, man, it's enough? You guys probably shouldn't have put that record out.
I've always said that when it comes to Slayer, if you have Rain and Blood, you've got them all. You do not need any more. That is the essence, the perfection, the fine reduction, if you will, of Slayer. And beyond that, I mean, even Rain and Blood,
probably go to Seasons in the Abyss.
Really? Oh, but wait, because they slowed it down at that one point.
I think that covers all of it, the whole.
I stand corrected. You're absolutely right.
I think
get
that
those
covers,
two and you're fine.
I think that covers the whole of what Slayer is.
And that's when, I mean, it's almost like you can't say, well, that separates a good band from a bad band or whatever, but it's like, it does kind of speak to, like, how adventurous artistically or how creative artistically a lot of bands were in that when you say you like Led Zeppelin, oh, dude, you got to get the whole catalog. Because you can't tell a Zeppelin, somebody starting off with it, get this one, and that's all of them. Well, where should I start? With all of them? Because you're not going to get one sound from one album, period. And oddly enough, you could say that about Van Halen. I mean, you could say, well, where do I start with Van Halen? Well, the damn thing is, you have to pick one of two albums. Either 84 or the debut. Yeah. And that should tell you everything right there. That you can't even pick just one album.
Personally, I would go with the first one.
If somebody were to say, well, personally, just to be an asshole, I'd say, well, listen to Van Halen too, because it's my favorite, but... That's the whole thing is, there's no one album that distills the whole sound. Not one. I mean, the first album had, like, the best of the best, but no keyboards. That's where you get 1984.
I'm okay with that.
Well, so am I, but that doesn't represent the whole of the band, is what I'm saying.
All right.
And that's kind of like, so why does AC/DC bother? I wondered the same thing. Same with Slayer and same with Motorhead. Yeah. Not that anybody speak ill of Motorhead, because you're not allowed, but... Was there a point beyond Iron Fist? Or, actually, you know what? Okay, or fine, Orgasmatron.
Yeah, I would have said
after Orgasmatron, was there a point to any of this?
Like, I could not tell you a song.
Love you, Lemmy, but may you rest in peace, but really? Why? And why were record companies paying for this? At what point did somebody in the boardroom not step up and say, come on, let's just keep them on the road. We'll release greatest hits, but don't put the pressure of them in the studio to try to replicate Ace of Spades, We're wasting money with studio time. Just keep them on the road.
Yeah, man. I heard that towards the end there, like, whoever was producing their record would, like, Lemmy would come in and record his part or whatever. And, it got to the point with the producer that the producer would just be like, okay, like, Lemmy was like, this is it. This is what I like. And the producer would just be like, okay. And then when he would leave for the day, he would go and like make the appropriate changes to the mix because Lemmy had hearing loss. So like he didn't hear it. He didn't hear it like, like you would.
Right.
In a mix. So like when the producer would play back what he thought the band should sound like, Lemmy was like, no, it's garbage.
Right, but Lemmy was also the guy that would not rest until he got a mono copy of the Beatles fucking box set or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
He did not want the stereo version. He wanted mono. And he wanted mono because that's what he was familiar with.
Yeah, that's the way you have to listen to it.
Right. And that dives into a whole other school of mono, stereo, whatever. God, the reissues have just gotten insane anymore. And, well, they have probably for 10 years.
That's because hypnosis.
Right. Yeah, you got to keep reselling.
You gotta create your own business, recession proof.
Well, my mind is just blown, and I almost feel sorry.
We're probably gonna get an '80s resurgence here.
Well, of course,
shitty '80s songs.
Yeah, and that's the part where,
like the Bangles or something.
Well, what's gonna happen is they're gonna start running out. They will have wrung the '70s dry. So you're gonna go to the '80s, and at first you're gonna get the biggest names ever: the Michael Jacksons, the fucking Springsteens, whoever the hell. But it's gonna get to the point where they're gonna start wringing the chamois so fucking tight that there will be Warrant box sets talking about the genius of the tragically early deceased Janie Lane, and there will be fucking 5 different goddamn mixes of Cherry Pie, the single edit, sold off to people that will buy them. Number one, the 200 or 300 diehard Warrant fans in LA, and then the fucking housewife from fucking Hennepin, Minnesota, who remembers sleeping with Janie Lane one night. And yeah, that's what's going to happen. It all becomes product.
Yeah, it's going to be in a commercial for the latest iPhone or something, and then everybody's going to it's going to come on the next iPhone, just like the U2 album did.
Well, and that's where even Cobra Kai that we talked about earlier, I almost wonder how much of a part Hypnosis or fucking whoever is playing in their scripting. In the first season, you remember when Miguel, the kid, fucking downloads Rat to his phone? 2 different Rat songs play in that episode. Why the fuck is a 17-year-old from fucking California in the year 2018 listening to I Know You Really Want to Lay It Down? I mean, not even like Rat's biggest song. Why does he have that playing on his iPod, on his fucking iPod or whatever the fuck, on his phone? Well, here I am, fucking 39 years old in Iowa going, oh, hey, lay it down. I remember that from when I was a kid. I recognize it. Now, according to the people who have sold them these rights, it's probably going to compel me to go, God, I haven't listened to the album Invasion
I should get the greatest hits.
God, I'd really love to have a copy of that. Or if I'm even more immediate and up to date with the times, I'll pick up my phone and download Lay It Down. I'll put that on my playlist. Somebody just made a royalty. I think that was absolutely fucking manipulated.
I think probably. But also, it's a spin-off of a show the movie that came out in the 80s.
Right.
That was popular music. It makes sense to have the music in there somehow.
It does.
Because they're kind of going, hey, remember this was in the 80s. The 80s. Remember the 80s? Hey, the 80s. Remember the 80s?
No, that's absolutely true. But the question...
Coors Heavy.
But yes, Banquet now. But yeah, enjoy your Coors. But no, the question that I'm asking is not why the 80s placement or whatever, but why instead of like it being Round and Round, which was later in the episode, why pick a song that only certain fans of the 80s are going to know? Unless they're going to go and buy the single.
It's going to boost the share.
Yes, exactly.
My Hypnosis shares have been boosted.
Yeah, that's just it. And in one of those episodes, what I find the most hilarious 80s reference wasn't even like Rat or Guns N' Roses or Motley Crue or whatever. It was in one scene, Johnny is wearing a baseball tee, not unlike the one I'm wearing, only mine says UFO. Wearing one that says Zebra. Remember, are you familiar at all with the band Zebra?
No, I don't recall this.
No, nobody knows who the hell they are. They were a three-piece band that I think was around the late 70s, early 80s. I don't know what they did. I don't know what their ties to metal are or anything like that. But Johnny's wearing a zebra shirt. And I thought, I wonder who from the zebra end of it said, have your actor wear this shirt and maybe somebody will go on the rabbit hole of zebra and download a copy of one of our songs. That's what I'm willing to bet happened. Nothing against the band Zebra, but like nobody knows who Zebra is. I know because I'm a musical fucking dork, but that's about the extent of it.
I just Googled it right now just to see.
Zebra?
Yeah.
All right, what'd you find?
They're a three-piece
Yes.
from Louisiana.
That's right.
New Orleans.
Ah, yeah. No.
And I don't know what they've ever done.
No, and I couldn't even name a song. I know, actually, what's funny is, talk about modern whatever the hell, my wife knew who they were. And I was shocked. I said, how do you know who Zebra is? There's no way you were diving into this kind of musical trivia. How do you know? She said she heard them on XM. That's how she knew who Zebra was. I think it was Ozzy's Boneyard. The Boneyard. But, also I asked her, well, what'd you think of what you heard? She kind of liked them. But
There's 3 singles from the 80s called Who's Behind the Door, Tell Me What You Want, and Bears.
Tell Me What You Want.
It does not ring a bell in me.
No, none of them do. That's just it. Nobody knew who Zebra was, and yet Johnny Lawrence, let's face it, the character Bonehead fucking is wearing a zebra shirt. Yeah, somebody got to that wardrobe department, I guess it would be.
Yeah, someone did their homework on that one. That's like the most obscure fucking thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. But then again, I mean, it's obscure to us.
Fun fact, Dream Theater covered one of their songs.
Well, of course they did.
Take Your Fingers From My Hair. Dream Theater did a version of it on their 10th studio album.
Take your fingers from my hair, put them in my underwear. I mean, where do you go from there? And did I just rhyme that whole thing?
You did, and that's great.
I can't wait for that one sound clip to be fucking isolated. Take your fingers from my hair, put them in my underwear. Where did we just go from there? Take your fingers out my hair. What the hell am I doing? You're just letting this happen, aren't you?
Yeah. I can't. I'm in awe of what just happened.
Jesus Christ!
I think you just wrote a Zebra song.
No, I'll tell you what I've been writing. This is how fucking sad my fucking creative output is. Fucking, I sit there and try to write original songs or whatever, something deep, something reflective. And all I can do is concentrate on how can I possibly rewrite that Luke Bryan song, Knocking Boots, into taking notes. And I've been coming up with lines. Laws mistaken, rules need breaking, notes need taking. Taking notes. I went further down that mental rabbit hole than I ever wanted to. Smoking in the dark needs a Willie Nelson on that White House roof. Okay, stop me. Make this stop.
Hey, stop.
Thank you.
Okay.
I can't wait for this to be edited. This is gonna be good.
Nope. We're doing this. So I don't. Like you.
What are you, a proctologist? Nope. We're doing this.
I don't know where to go from here. So I think we're gonna end it on this note.
Well, give your overall thoughts on. We got to go back to animals. So, what were your overall thoughts?
I like it. It's good stuff.
That's it.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite Pink Floyd records.
One of your favorite. What is your favorite Pink Floyd record?
It's a toss-up between Dark Side of the Moon and The Wall.
Really?
Yeah.
See, because I got to be honest with you, The Wall I could live without. I really could.
I like it.
Dark Side of the Moon is just insurmountable, but my favorite Floyd album is Animals, period.
Yeah. See, I don't know. Like, I like that they did a movie with The Wall. So like you
Christ, that
don't.
movie.
Not only do you just get a record, but you can choose to watch a movie version of it.
Yeah, and I could see that. And that was Pink Floyd. It was multimedia. I mean, the music was almost secondary when they started out because it was all about whatever strobe lights or ink blots you could show people.
Lasers, man. Pulse.
And then as time went on, lasers and then flying pigs in the crowd and everything else. But I guess my thoughts on the album, if we're going to try to get on some semblance of a track, it's such a great album in that, as I said before, no matter what is going on in your life, no matter what is happening at any particular moment, you could be getting like head or something, and fucking as soon as you hear that, you've got to be crazy, it's gonna turn it from oh god, this feels great to, oh my god, I'm a dirty motherfucker, what the fuck am I doing? I mean, just the mood of the album is so powerful that no matter what's happening in your life, if you put that album on, it's gonna change the event. That's powerful music. And then, as for me personally, well, provided an unavoidable soundtrack to various dark moments, really. And that's how great that is. But if I had a final thought on it, I gotta say the thing that probably makes it just palatable is that those three primary songs that you're listening to are just this rash of negativity, to rip Phil Anselmo, but it's just all this negative, all this, not only negative, but you can't change this negative. Hopelessness is what it is, which is even worse. But it starts off with one part that kind of lures you in, but then it ends with a part that tells you that no matter how bad it is, it's all going to be okay. And that's why I like it. And that's kind of the genius of the songwriting, really, is you can't end anything on a horrifically downer note. Because who's going to want to go through that ever again? But you can end it on a somewhat... It goes from a feeling of hopelessness, in that these are the three distinctions. You're a dog, a pig, or a sheep, and you can't do anything about it, which is the absence of hope. But then it ends unexpectedly on this whole thing that says, this is the way it is, but we'll watch for pigs on the wing. You're not alone. And it's maybe not like the solution, it's not the answer, it's not the salvation, but it's the hope for it. Which hope in and of itself is almost a delusion. But a delusion, just like a drug, really feels good when it happens. So
I see that you're going deep here.
Of course I am.
I just can't get over the fact that sheep sounds like Judas Priest.
And that's what I fucking love about this, because you'll eventually pull me back to what my reality is, which is music, and I can just laugh. But that's kind of what... So glad you did that, because that's kind of what this album does. And that musically, it takes you down the rabbit hole I just dove down. The murky depths or whatever. But it still ends on a hopeful note. But at the same time, you're dealing with an album cover that has a pig flying, which is like a joke. That'll happen when pigs fly, ha. And that's the album cover for this serious topic.
Well, do you know what it was going to be?
No.
It was going to be like a little kid walking in on his parents fucking.
Oh, right, that's right. And
copulating like animals.
Oh, Jesus, I forgot about that.
So it's one of the hypnosis. It's a hypnosis cover, but it had the input of Roger Waters on it.
That's right. I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yes, and the pig flying's better.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the whole thing. I mean, this album's interspersed with like very snide jokes, like, oh, when pigs fly. And if you listen to the bastardized Lord's Prayer, and sheep says he'll make us into lamb cutlets or something like that,
Yeah.
It's these dark things, but they're funny.
Yep, lowbrow, dark humor.
Yes, which is so British. It
is. That's very British.
But yeah, so... And I guess that's the thing I love about the album, is that I think musically it's genius in that no matter what, during those initial, or those core three songs, it doesn't matter what's happening, it's going to take a dark turn. And you can't help but feel that when you listen to it. But then it not only begins by luring you in, but it ends on a hopeful note. I mean, there's nothing more devastating than the absence of hope. because then there's nothing to look forward to, nothing to live for. But hopeful means even if hope is a delusion, and hope is a delusion, hope is the needle in your arm. Hope is whatever it may be. And you know it's fake, but God, it feels good.
Hope in one hand, shit in the other.
Hope in one hand, spike in the other. I mean, whatever you gotta do. But
You ever hear that?
yes, and see which one fills up first.
That's
Yes.
right.
But and it's true. But at the same time, everyone's looking for the brief reprieve, the immediate. Whether you admit it or not, yeah, you're looking for the brief, even for a second. And that's what that final track does. It just says, no, we may be fucked, but for right now, we can try. That's hope. And I think that's what the album ends on, and that's what I end on. In the end, there's hope.
That's nice. That's very nice.
All right, so we
Very nice
killing
of you.
this then.
Yep. I like how you're all heartfelt, and I take whatever you said and I just step on it.
This is what we do, and that's cool. That's cool.
That's nice, Josh.
What? Wait, what?
All right.
What's nice?
No,
What?
I'm just saying that's nice.
Oh, shut up! Now you're fucking with me because you're Dr. Demento here. There's no hope. So tell me to fuck off, and then we'll be back to normal.
We're fine.
All right, go on.
All right, everybody. This has been One More Last Time, featuring Joshua the musical anthropologist Johnson.
And Chadwick Von Tippett.
We'll see you next time.
Asta.